Say what? See the Moosey Choke? This one could be, who the bloody hell is this Martin Pariseau dude? Not for tomorrow, which is the 29th, because I've already selected one, already uploaded. I'm just going to put it public tomorrow. Maybe the week after, we'll see. Look, I've been given permission to stay inside the cabin because I've been doing good work to be helpful here. So it's taken a while, but it's getting warmer. I brought some of my things here. I can't seem to get a decent Wi-Fi connection because I think on the other side is a little bit better with where that tower is on the roof, maybe. I haven't tried upstairs. I wanted to go upstairs. Right now I'm only using this energy. We've had sun for a few days, so the batteries aren't really going down with just this light. And, there's a vlog I could have done which says, I'm still doing the same thing I've done the last few years. People might say, well, ew. Well, I'd love to be proven wrong about my theory on HSD. It's not specifically finding an Homo sapien, but a community that would allow me, an Homo sapien, to live there. So I wrote, I'll do a vlog where, still walking the talk with increasingly colder weather again, like before. More mechanical problems, because I still haven't had the courage and the coal to work outside to see if I really do need a new alternator, or if there's some wires, or if it's the regulator. I'm still not entirely sure. And I'm more and more at the whim of those that I seek to support and offer my services to. So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read this after. But first I'll read from my diary, this new diary I got, and I'm going to, I tell you, today is, October 28th, and so it's been, going on 6 weeks I've been in this community, and I'm told to be more patient about, offering my services because, the community is going through things, and it's hard for them because they haven't been taking any of the training and teachings I want to offer. But, if I go away, and they may or may not notice, I think they'll notice, but I mean, would there be one person maybe emailing me, say, oh, Martin, I haven't seen you for a while, what are you up to? And, I don't know how long that would take, but it would probably prove that even if I back off, it's not really me that should be blamed for stagnant communities that gave in to their fate, while taking their kids along with them. I'm sorry to say, I've seen this in multiple locations in Canada and countries of the world, and this is what I'd love to be proven wrong about. Somebody that allows me, and I've said it again in the email that I've sent to some important people, saying, should I work on the weekend on the projects, on writing a 2-letter page that tells you the project that fit the mission statement of your education society, the school, and that also some I'll offer volunteer and some for a modest living, and where I would also record an audio. And it's good ideas. It's great ideas. For example, there's a book. I met the French author in a campground on Vancouver Island of a comic strip where somebody else did the artistic stuff, and he wrote in French what he believed is life skills lessons, where the characters are animals. 2 main characters are animals, and the others 2, if there's other characters, I'm not sure. And he would have been great with me translating this in English, but also I would have worked on a project if they wanted me to translate it in their own language here too. And that would have been a project with kids, grandparents, parents, in one of the things I would have done for free. And it would have been that they get the proceeds of the sales in both English and their own language, which might be less because, there'd be probably less people, that speak their language compared to English. And of course, I would be updating what would be more accurate with them during these weeks. And that's just one of the projects. There's multiple other things I'd like to do that fall under But again, there's no helping the kids without working with the adults. And that includes parents, educators, administrators, and it's so in the letter I wrote, I'm if my family, in 2002, I wouldn't have come here on Vancouver Island in BC if my family could have given me this, which is I seek, as I'm still alive and can still be of service, a community where they'll see me as who I am, they'll understand who this person is, they will appreciate this person, but they will also, man, I always forget. I didn't forget when I wrote the letter, but see me as who I am, understand who I am, accept me as who I am, and appreciate me as who I am. So yeah, I arrived at the campground on September 17th. So the only entry I did in my diary so far is September 18th. I arrived at the campground, seen above. I'm not sure why I wrote that. On September 16th, 2023. I seem to still possess the motivational energy to keep offering myself to any remote community that would show signs of appreciating me as a whole. I mean by this appreciating all of who I am and most of what I can offer a welcoming and supportive community. I was told to approach a particular band leader who may seem aligned with some of the projects that I would want to work on. She may be able to meet me tomorrow. If this First Nation community is happy to have me here, then they would likely find me an indoor lodging or a place for me to spend the winter sleeping inside the Musicho with minimal preparations required. I would then shower, toilet somewhere indoors. The person I was told about is not this specific band. This is the one I went to after, or focusing on as well, after meeting that person. After I came to this campground, I went to the other band, and the person I was told about, not by somebody that I knew had the same abilities to evaluate others that I do, so, or themselves. So I didn't have high hopes, but I only needed one meeting with that person from another band than this one to know that's not where I'd focus my energy as the summer is winding down. I think that I should also mention that I have contacted BC ministers in charge of various specialties that relate to the needs of northwestern British Columbians. There is the remote possibility that they may decide to behave as public servants after my last email to 3 of them. So, yeah, this is something I from one of them I got a generic response from one of their offices. And again, I didn't email, their MLA email because I don't fall under their postal code. I emailed them at their provincial role, which they were assigned to, which is, I think, health related. I don't know if it's transportation or, but also, climate emergency stuff. And I'll post more about that later, but I haven't heard back from them. So this is, again, 6 weeks ago. And this is a time when the fires have been winding down, for example. And that's good because a lot of the firefighters might not come back. They just wanted to go back to school in September. And I don't hear of anything happening right now that is preparing a bigger, stronger wave of wildfire and firefighter staff or volunteers for the worst season that's coming next year, because El Nino will break even bigger records in the summer. So for me, the anxiety of living in Canada is we're not big on problem solving. Even people that get paid big salaries and want to increase their salaries, they don't do what needs to be done. It's and yet they're quite happy. So can you imagine they're quite happy to take on the role of these very important responsibilities that these roles have, and they still will fail, and then they'll blame it on Mother Nature. But you can really chart their life as working on things too little too late and ignoring people that have higher specialties that want to help guide them. If not me, there's other specialists in Canada that they could hire as consultants, not necessarily as public servants, with a career and a salary and a pension. and say this is the priority and this is the reason why it's the priority and this is how you explain it to the public that you're making these choices based on these priorities. But again, it takes public servants to act this way, not too little too late and say, oh, it took us by surprise, and we don't have enough of this staff. Well, it's kind of your department to make sure you have enough of this staff. So don't blame it on people, because some of them, they defend their properties, and they might have become firefighters, if you had given them that option. So I am almost finished season 3 of Northern Exposure, and it seems to provide me with the motivation to keep trying here. However, I still dream of either a return to Korea and or a Spanish-speaking country where I could also be of service. I was pretty impressed with a politician from Spain that I posted about on my Facebook today. But more likely than here, also find love. Le cœur devient moins lourd quand on est en amour.